Well, I had a very big week this week, and it was very exciting. So I had my insurance agent test this past Monday that I actually failed to get to. I didn't fail the test, I just didn't get there because the location was not where my Google Maps and where my GPS both agreed that it was. I think, thinking back, that they're probably drawing from the same information and are not actually independent sources. But we live and we learn. So I took time off on Monday and didn't make it, and then I wasn't able to go back to work that day. But then I went on Tuesday and I found out that per company policy, since I missed the test rather than failed the test, I would have to pay for my second attempt myself. But when I found out it was only $46, I decided very quickly that that was worth it because it's a lot of extra money that I would be getting, and I'd make back that much and then some in the first week of training. So I decided that it was worth just going ahead and doing it. So I paid for my second test myself, and I passed it on the first attempt. So that was good, and I was a lot better off after that. I went back to work and worked a few hours. I actually worked some makeup time, and I talked to my coach since I was missing a lot of time from that week, and she okayed me doing some additional makeup time so that I wouldn't have to use so much PTO this week because I have that vacation and amazement in May that I'm planning to go to, and I don't want to use up all of my PTO before I go there, or it will be an unpaid vacation, which is very frustrating because I'm finding out that, like my Medicare exam, because I have that next, I had to pass 2 tests. I've got one of them down, so I just have Medicare left. I'm going to have to do that mostly on my own time because the class time allotted has run out, but we haven't covered all the material. They want us to be tested and done by Friday, but the only way that could possibly happen is if I test this week, which isn't going to happen, and I already have plans for this weekend, so it can't be this weekend. So it's either going to be next week or next weekend, or, late this week, like Thursday or Friday, when they want me to test. But we'll figure it out. I'm just frustrated that I seem to be using up all my PTO on work-related activities, and I'm not going to have any for my vacation. I also went to the Magic tournament on Friday like I'd intended to, but I found out the one that I'd been told was on Saturday wasn't on Saturday. And I came home after the tournament and looked it up, and it is release weekend, so there is supposed to be a tournament. He's just not running it. So I was a little frustrated, but I couldn't find another release tournament in my area, so I just gave up on that and said, well, that was about the cost of the test anyway, so it does put me back where I would have been financially anyway, just to skip it. So I stayed here, and it was a beautiful day, so I took my bow out and did some target practice. I lost a couple of arrows, and I'm really frustrated because if I had a bigger target, I think that I wouldn't be losing arrows so much. So I'm going to work to get myself a bigger target. I think I'm going to build one out of some 2x4s. I looked that up. That was cheap, and it's a lot cheaper than trying to build one. And then I can still use my cardboard for target practice. I just have to hang it up, but I've figured out how to do that. That's actually something I may end up using some of the paracord braiding techniques for. So I've drawn up some rough plans. I've kind of let it sit a little while, but I'm going to go back to it. The other big thing was Bo's, Star Wars theme party that Bo was running, and I got to go to it. The highlight there was the Nerf war, and the low light was looking for Nerf darts in the dark. But overall, I did have fun. I met a couple of really interesting people, and hopefully I'll be able to keep in touch. Other than that, I'm just looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to touch base with a bunch of old friends, and some of them were not available after all, but that's okay. I'll meet up with people, have some fun, and oh yeah, it's also Mother's Day, so I'll see my mother. And I guess that's all for this week. I'm going to be studying a lot on my own time since my classes ended.